Do you have anything in mind? Because I don't.
Dr. Weissman's coming here tomorrow.
The psychiatrist?
Yes.
Certainly seem to be well up on everything that's happening in the prison.
He could take a look at Rosie while he's here.
He can't on my recommendation alone. His instructions come from the department.
I know that. Couldn't you cut some red tape?
How?
Angela Jeffries would know. She arranged for my transfer to Wentworth and my divorce. Or she could swing it.
I don't know whether I can get in touch with her.
Karen Travers could. All you'd have to do is pass on the message about the shrink. Angela would do the rest.
There are rules about listening to a patient's consultation with a doctor, Miss Bennett.
But Pat O'Connell just asked
I'm not interested.
Protecting O'Connell again. If it was anyone else...
I'd do exactly the same thing.
Yes, you would. They're all criminals. But as long as they happen to have a child, you'll forgive them anything.
Well, the maternal instinct's very strong, Miss Bennett, but I don't suppose you'd know anything about that.
A family's one thing, but sneaking messages out of a prison is another.
Make out a report, then.
I will.
The door was wide open.
I suppose it's a reaction against the prison.
You look tired.
I am a bit.
What's the problem? Doreen?
Sort of.
Well, do you think she's getting too dependent on you?
No, nothing like that.
How about some dinner? Wine? Candlelight? Roses?
Thanks, but I don't want to leave Doreen alone in the house too often.
Well, how about something to eat here? I could go and get some wine.
Sorry, no booze-ups on the premises.
Look, have I done something wrong? I mean, used the wrong toothpaste or neglected my deodorant?
Don't be silly. I'm just not in the mood.
Hey, tell me what's wrong.
I don't know exactly. It's just that when Angela explained the idea of the halfway house to me, it all seemed so simple. She didn't tell me it involved making decisions for other people.
Angela plays diplomacy, not real life.
I wish I could sometimes. Trouble is, she leaves all her dirty work up to a henchman, like me.
You make her sound like the late Mrs. McNally.
In her own way, Angela's just as powerful.
How powerful?
Why? Ah, something at Wentworth.
Maybe.
Anything I can do to help?
No, look, it's better you don't get involved. You know what happened last time.
With Pat O'Connell?
Yeah, I'm sorry I brought the subject up.
I'm not. Look, I've got to play by the rules most of the time, but we'd never get anything done if we went strictly by the book.
Well, if Angela can get this organized in time, then I will believe she's God's gift.
And you reckon the doc will pass the message on?
I'm not sure.
Just hope it doesn't get Karen into trouble, that's all.
Well, why should it? The shrink's coming here tomorrow anyway.
Oh, no, he's not. I told the governor I wouldn't see him.
Why?
Because if I plead insanity, it makes what McNally did to my mother unimportant.
Listen, love, we know how you feel, but it's not going to do your mother any good for you to spend the rest of your life in jail.
But I won't. Look, there's a case in here. This guy pleaded that he executed justice when the court was unable to.
I bet he's still inside.
He's not. He was convicted of manslaughter, sentenced to 10 years.
10 years is a pretty long
Ah,
time.
but then he appealed, and he was let off on a good behaviour bond. Justifiable homicide.
Sounds like an American cops and robbers show.
Justice is justice, wherever it happens.
Now, where did you learn that?
At school? In legal studies.
Well, all that highfalutin stuff might be all very well for school books, but when you're face to face with a jury...
Practice and the principle of the law are the same thing.
You reckon?
Bee's right. None of us would be here if it was.
At worst, I'll get a good behaviour bond for defending my family.
You can tell that to the Marines. Oh, there she blows.
Good morning.
Mrs. Davidson. Good morning.
Didn't you get my message?
Pardon?
Rosalind Coulson refuses to see you.
Oh, that's a pity, really, because they're going to throw the book at her. And all I'll be able to say is she was suffering from extreme naivety.
I'm sorry to have wasted your time.
Wasted? Oh, hardly. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing Miss Hudson.
Hudson?
Yes. You know, I always thought it was wise to investigate a mother's possible reactions before they separated from the child. It's one of the few pleasures left in our profession where we can still overrule the departmental regulations in such a case.
In my opinion, this motherhood drivel's gone on long enough.
I think it brightens the place up a bit.
Oh, it's disgusting. The next thing you know, we'll be running a nursery.
Have you got something against kids, Vera?
Hi, good morning, Miss Bennett. Mrs. Powell.
Morning, Doctor.
Morning.
Well, I suppose Miss Hudson's waiting for me.
I imagine she's still in the maternity wing.
Well, I was led to believe it was a matter of some urgency. Oh, well, we Sykes are in no position to argue with the powers that be. Although I do think a directive at midnight's a bit rich.
Miss Bennett, would you fetch Rosie Hudson, please?
To the examination room, if you wouldn't mind. I'd like to see Dr. Miller before I see her.
Of course, Dr. Miller's probably in his rooms. Yes, he came in a few minutes ago.
That's all right, I know the way. Thank you.
Come on, now, tell Mummy what this is. What's this? Come on, now.
Morning, Rosie.
Hi.
Morning, Sam.
Hudson, come with me
Why, where are we going?
to see the doctor.
What's the doctor want?
I thought O'Connell would have told you. Now hurry up. You can't take the baby with you.
Why not?
Just leave him here.
Well, who's going to look after him?
O'Connell, you keep an eye on him.
Oh, for God's sake. These.
Make the most of it.
What do you mean?
You'll see. Now come on, Hudson. I haven't got all day.
What's going on, Miss Bennett? Why does Dr. Miller want to see me?
He doesn't. Dr. Weissman does.
Who's Dr. Weissman?
The psychiatrist.
A shrink. What's he want to see me for?
Look, how should I know?
Is it about Sam? Is he going to try and take Sam away?
Look, I don't know. Well, come on.
No.
What?
I don't want to see him.
I'm afraid you don't have any choice. Look, this sort of performance isn't going to get you anywhere. Do you want them to take your baby away?
No, they can't. I'd kill myself.
Well, I wouldn't tell the doctor that.
What do you mean?
Well, if you tell him you're going to kill yourself, he'll think you're mentally unbalanced. And then they'll take the baby for sure. Now, come on.
Now, if this woman is as disturbed as you say she is, well, naturally, I'll make a recommendation to the department. I mean, we're not ogres.
No.
Now, what have you observed so far?
Well, she appears to be suicidal. And,
Hi, Doctor.
Hello, Rosie. This is Dr. Wiseman. He wants to have a chat with you.
Hello, Rosie. Sit down. That'll be all, thanks, Miss Bennett.
Look, I don't want to lose my baby or anything.
Just relax, Rosie. Dr. Wiseman just wants to ask you a few questions.
Now, I gather you're rather disturbed about losing your child.
No, that's not true.
I see. Well, naturally, you're very attached to your child. If he were taken from you, how would you feel?
Oh, okay, I guess. I mean, I don't want to lose him.
No,
really.
of course not. And you'd be upset, naturally.
Yeah, a bit, but I guess it'd be okay.
It wouldn't make you feel as though, well, you had nothing to live for.
You mean try to kill myself?
Well, has the thought ever crossed your mind?
No, Doctor.
Rosie,
Do you love your baby?
Yeah, of course I do.
And if he were taken from you, you wouldn't contemplate suicide or anything like that?
Why would I want to do a thing like that?
Well, didn't you tell Dr. Miller you would?
No?
Are you sure?
Yeah. I don't know where you got a crazy idea like that from, Doctor. Why would I want to kill myself? I'm not mad or anything.
Well, I'm afraid the decision must stand, Mrs. Davidson. The woman is naturally concerned, but in no danger of losing her mind, I'd say. Oh, it's a typical case. Sad, but typical.
I hate the idea of separating mother and child, but it's more a problem of facilities than anything else, isn't it?
Well, among other things, yes.
Nevertheless, I've always thought taking a child away at 12 months was a bit premature.
Well, unfortunately, neither you nor I can do much about that.
I'm sorry your visit's been so fruitless.
One must never ignore the possibility of saving a life or a mind.
I wish Coulson had agreed to see you.
Well, there again, we can't force the situation.